Zhenkaigui. Withdrawing large sums from banks is quite common in China, as cash is by far the most accepted payment in the country. Serial killer Zhenkaigui targeted his victims as they left with cash, shooting them and running away with their money. Zhenkaigui served as a police officer in the People's Liberation Army and was a surveillance expert. This training allowed him to be a hermit who kept to himself and rarely interacted with anyone. And when he did, he usually communicated with just body language and grunts. It also helped him elude police officers when they first became aware of his robbing and killing in 2004. However, in 2012, he was identified outside a Nanjing bank after shooting a man and taking off carrying about $30,000 cash. Believing he was responsible for 6 other deaths and 2 injuries in similar crimes, authorities sent 13,000 police officers and 2 helicopters after Kaigui. However, they have never been able to locate him to make an arrest. It's also highly possible he could commit another robbery in the future. Mikhail Popkov. Mikhail Popkov would use his uniform and patrol car to gain his victims' trust before luring them to their deaths. From 1992 to 2000, Popkov targeted full-figured women who resembled his abusive mother, attacking them with a screwdriver, axe, or knife. He would then rape his victims before leaving their mutilated bodies in forests throughout Angarsk, Russia. Popkov murdered at least 22 women, but the exact number could be well over 30. The brutality of the murders would haunt the townspeople and make national headlines, giving Popkov the nickname the werewolf due to the violent nature of his attacks. But then the killing stopped. Turns out, he contracted a venereal disease that was left untreated and caused him to become impotent, leaving him unable to take pleasure from his murders and rapes. He managed to elude detectives for 2 decades, even after one of his potential victims escaped and positively identified him as her attacker. However, a mandatory DNA test was administered in 2012 for all law enforcement officials in Angarsk, thus identifying the notorious werewolf, resulting in Mikhail Popkov being sentenced to life in prison in the year 2015. Christopher Dorner. Christopher Dorner's reign of horror began when he lost his career as a police officer after filing a report accusing another officer of extreme, unnecessary force during an arrest. Because he felt his release was unjustified, in 2013, he set out to seek revenge on those he felt wronged him. The first 2 he murdered were Monica Kwan and Keith Lawrence. Neither had met Dorner before, but Kwan's father was a lapped captain when they dismissed him from the police force. He then posted a crazed manifesto through Facebook, detailing his grievances and listing those who would pay. And admitted he went after Kwan's daughter and fiancée because he didn't think Kwan did a good enough job defending him. His first 2 killings would only be the beginning of nearly 2 weeks of random killings that would leave 4 dead and 2 injured. As a result, Chief Charlie Beck took to the media to assure Dorner they were serious about his demands to review his dismissal. However, police made it a mission to track him down and arrest him. While the hunt was on for his arrest, he ambushed and killed Officer Michael Crane and injured his partner on a routine patrol. On February 12, 10 days after Dorner's crazed killing spree started, it all ended in a mountain cabin standoff with the police. Deputy Jeremiah McKay was killed during a gunfight as Dorner stood his ground, opening fire as officers tried to smoke him out with tear gas. At one point, they heard a single gunshot from inside the cabin. Unintentionally, the tear gas set the cabin on fire and caused the ammunition inside to explode, making it unsafe for police to enter. Once the fire settled, charred remains removed from the cabin, later confirmed through dental records to be Christopher Dorner. The official cause of death was determined to be a self-inflicted gunshot to the head. If you know of any killer cop stories, I would love to hear them in the comments below.
Please click the subscribe button so you can keep up to date with my channel. Thanks for watching and take care.